Greetings and salutations, Ravage Rider here. I need your help to help me choose my next motorcycle. Okay. Truth be told, I'm entertaining the idea of purchasing a new motorcycle, but because I'm not allowed to own a third motorcycle yet, I would have to sell one of mine to make room. So I've recently advertised my Triumph Bonneville in a local buy and sell. All right, let's start with a quick backstory. The Triumph Bonneville is my second motorcycle, and it had been the bike of my dreams. I still love this motorcycle, but as I get older, I wanted something a little bit more comfortable for the long distance traveling, and I wanted to retire the Bonneville from the 1,000+ kilometer days. Enter my 2018 Honda CB650F. Now this bike is amazing, and it's definitely become my go-to bike for everything, just running errands, driving to work, everything else. Leaving my Bonneville for Sunday rides and the annual Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Now, while I don't mind the motorcycle just sitting in my garage looking pretty, I thought I might be up for a bit of a change, and I was hoping you could help me out with that. I've compiled a short list of motorcycles that I'm interested in. I can see myself owning and riding each one of these, but I would love to hear from you. Maybe you've thought of something that I haven't. Maybe you think I'm crazy and should keep the Bonneville. Now, my requirements for a new motorcycle are fairly simple. I want to be able to take it on the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride. Here's a style guide for that. Cafe Racer, Chopper, Scrambler, Classic, Tracker, Bobber, Brat, Modern Classic, Scooter, Sidecar. While this is a little limiting, there's still tons of options. First on the list, but not my first choice, is the Triumph Street Scrambler. As much as I would love to own one of the 1200cc XC or XE models, I'm just looking at the 900cc version. Price is a little bit more in my ballpark, and truthfully, the seat height also fits me much better. This could be an awesome all-around town bike with the occasional trail riding. Downsides for me are the price and, more importantly, the weight. I know what I'm getting with the Triumph Modern Classic for maintenance, and I wouldn't be disappointed. Going in a little bit of a different direction, I would consider a Royal Enfield Himalayan. This bike has intrigued me since I first heard about them. A small, light, single-cylinder motorcycle with an adventure aesthetic. While I think this would be a great all-around bike and handle the occasional trail riding as well, it's almost too much of what I'm trying to turn my Honda CB650 into. I also hear that the pegs scrape while cornering quite easily. Next up is the Ducati Scrambler Desert Sled. I absolutely love this bike. I pretty much love everything about this bike except for two things: seat height and maintenance schedule. For what I see, Ducati maintenance is pretty frequent and expensive. This bike is also the most expensive on my short list, but it's just so cool. Like the Triumph Street Scrambler, there's also a ton of aftermarket parts available for the Desert Sled. It definitely needs to be considered. Now, for something a little different, I would actually consider and think I would really enjoy a Vespa scooter. At first, I was just thinking about adding a 50cc Vespa and keeping my two motorcycles, but even the 50cc is pricey for what you get. So if I sold my Bonneville and got into the Vespa GTS 300, specifically the Super Racing 60s, I could actually ride it on the highway into the city for the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride and back, but mostly use it for around my small town. I really like the styling, and having the trunk under the seat for the running errands in town is very appealing to me. With the trunk, I think the scooter becomes more useful than most motorcycles. I have also looked into the Vespa Electrica, but it has a low top speed, and just like I said in my Harley-Davidson Live Wire video, I'm still unsure about how to store it for winter without harming the batteries. Now, the last two motorcycles on my list have me a tad more excited than everything I've talked about so far, and they couldn't be more different from each other. The Husqvarna Sparkedpelin 401 might be on the top of my list, but I'm also quite attracted to the Honda CBR 650R. I know it doesn't meet my requirement for bringing it to the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride, but I love the inline 4 of my Honda CB650F so much that I am tempted to get the same bike as a fully fared sport bike. I think it would be a blast, but will I find it too similar to what I already have? I don't know. So that leaves the Sparkedpelin 401. Yes, it's a small single-cylinder motorcycle. Compared to the Bonneville, it has half the engine, 2/3 the horsepower, but is also 2/3 the weight. The power to weight ratio make it quite peppy and nimble. I love the unique design. I really like the luggage rack on the tank and would replace the pillion seat with another luggage rack. At this point, I think the 2022 Sparkedpelin is the top of my list. If I can sell the Bonneville for what I'm asking, then I would be able to get the Sparkedpelin and some accessories for it. So what do you think? Do I get one of these? Do I get something else entirely different? Or do I keep the Bonneville? Now, if I keep the Bonneville, I'm going to want to change the Biltwell tracker handlebars and put on the Biltwell motor bars. I'm also going to want to put the factory mirrors back on. Please comment below. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.